Welcome back to the All Access Studio. I'm your co-host, Marty Finn. So joining me right now is Dean Carter, who's the head of HR for Patagonia. So Dean, want to welcome you to the studio. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Marty. Good to be here.
Great. So we've sourced some questions from our viewers. So the first one that we had was, what principles do you hope will guide and drive business 50 years from now?
The founder of Patagonia, Yvon Chouinard, writes in his book, Let My People Go Surfing, that run this company as if it would be here for the next 100 years. And so since he started it 50 years ago, if I look 50 years in the future, it's the same principles he started with, 50 years ago, which is, run this company with a blend of kind of work and life and play, focus in on doing well and doing good. And our version of doing both of those is doing what we can to save what we believe is a planet in crisis.
Yeah.
You wake up thinking about that every day and continue to do that. And the business model and perhaps even the product will change in the next 50 years. Right. But the principles, the culture, philosophy of Patagonia, they won't.
Set in stone.
Set in stone.
I like it. So this week at Talent Connect, we've had a lot of conversations. We've heard from a lot of speakers around values-based leadership, the role of values within an organization and company culture and things like that. How do you think employees can help drive values-based practices within their organization?
I think it's all in a mindset. Before Patagonia, I thought about values as something you work with a consultant to kind of your mission, vision, values. And that's a thing you put in the handbook, and then you got to train on it. And first thing I know about values is you can't train on values. So a value, to some extent, around caring for the environment. I cannot teach someone to be concerned about that. You either something you want to get outside, or you don't want to get outside.
Right.
So here's in terms of driving values, though. First, on the recruiter side, hire people who care about the values that you have in the company. You don't have to drive them; just let people live them.
Right.
And the second thing is find ways to let them live those values ridiculously. Create experiences that say this is a value, and that's done through ways of showing people that it's way beyond return on investment or bottom line. At Patagonia, we get experiences all the time that our decisions we based on our values, that there may or may not be a return on that investment. It doesn't matter. It's a value. It's a thing you value way beyond whether it fits within an ROI.
Yeah, I love that phrase, like living values ridiculously.
Yeah, it is. That's what we think about every day. And I could give you some examples of how we live values ridiculously at Patagonia. I'll talk about that tomorrow, but our people, we believe in living a life fully. If you join Patagonia because you love to be outside and surf, when the surf's up, get out.
Right.
Not all the time. When the powder's down, go out and ski. Spend time with your kids. It's
like it's prioritizing your passions, I think is kind of what I'm hearing, right?
Yeah, if the recruiters are doing their job and hiring people to the values, then it's all the rest of our business and the rest of HR to make sure you find ways to help them live them ridiculously. If you don't have a jaw-dropping, oh my God, that is the experience you're delivering to me around values, you're not going deep enough.
Yeah, all right, very interesting. So switch topics a little bit, employee benefits.
Yeah.
So what is an employee benefit that you're starting to see more and more of in the industry? And what would you like to see companies offer more of in terms of employee benefits?
The benefit that I want to see more, sadly, is a benefit companies aren't offering more. And again, when I joined Patagonia, they've had on-site childcare for 40 years.
Okay, wow.
So it's not new. Matter of fact, 9% of companies have on-site childcare now.
Sorry, 9?
9%.
Okay.
And that's going down. If you're following trend, 9% of companies allow dogs on campus, and that's actually increasing, but not kids. Of all the things I've seen in terms of the impact on humans, the impact on the future of children, the impact on stress for parents, the impact on gender parity, all the things that we're working on in HR, there is no benefit more powerful than integrated on-site childcare. And we could talk for a very long time about it, but it's what I've discovered. And if I could wave a magic wand and everyone would have it, that would be it, and without a doubt.
And that's just to dig in there a little bit because of the almost pressure that takes off a parent, knowing that their
Yeah.
child, like it's one, they don't have to drop a child off. They also know where they're being cared for. They almost feel part of their daily routine and the culture and the
They are
company.
part.
And is that part of it?
Yeah, they are part of the daily routine. It is, there are a lot of statistics around this, but, and 25, 30% of women leave the workforce after having a kid. 25 to 30%.
Wow.
So if we're ever going to have gender equity and parity, then we have to do something about that. At Patagonia, nearly 100% of our women return from leave because they just bring their baby back to them. They don't have to choose.
Right.
My baby, work, baby, work. Yeah, and then at the same time, I just think about, you talk about stress and the things you put back in people's lives. I don't know, like for people who have kids, what if as a part of work, I gave you back, you saw your kid's first steps, and you didn't get a report from daycare, you got to go see it yourself.
Right.
You get to go read them a book. Or all these things they are life-changing. I don't even have kids on campus, and
Yeah.
it
No.
makes a difference for me, and particularly with a company that's focused on the future.
Absolutely.
Every day I'm reminded why we're at work.
Yeah.
Like I see them laughing and playing, and I want a better world for those kids. I want them to have fresh air. I want them to have clean oceans, and I want them to have fertile soil that we can continue to grow food. That's what I want for those kids.
That's fantastic. I love that answer. Thank you. So, working for an outdoor lifestyle retail brand,
Yeah.
people probably have a lot of conceptions. So, what would you say is the biggest misconception about working for an outdoor retail lifestyle brand?
Probably the biggest misconception is the one I mentioned earlier around surfing. So Yvonne wrote, "Let my people go surfing."
Yep.
And so the misconception is when the surf is up, everyone just throws all their work out and
Papers in the air, school's out for the summer. Yeah.
No, you have to earn your surf. What I
Okay.
mean is you need to get your work done. Yvonne, in the beginning, when he was making climbing pitons, he still had to make enough pitons to make a living and continue his business.
Right.
But he was ready to surf. So when the surf is up, he had his work done.
Yeah.
And that's really it. We don't all just abandon our desks, although I have abandoned my desk before I had my work done. And it's also not unusual for people to get ready for this because they know, snow season coming up. They know we have a big Mammoth Mountain event, and
Right.
I don't know, about 60% of the company goes to Mammoth Mountain for a week and skis, like 350 people gone. But you're ready for it. And that's the trick. You can't just walk from your work. You have to be ready. And that means people, I don't know, Yvonne says, you work like demons because you care about the cause and you want to be ready for the surf or snow or hang out with your kids, whatever. That's
You
that's
got to
fun.
get your stuff done.
You got to get
Got to get your business taken
That's
care
the
of.
biggest
I'm
misconception.
envisioning you on a conference call on a ski lift right now, like
Yeah.
just
If you're on the ski
getting
lift,
all
we
that
don't
done.
want you on the conference
Yeah,
call.
no, good.
Stay in the
good.
snow.
See,
Yeah,
I love the safety practices.
Yeah,
still,
no,
too.
just enjoy.
Back to those priorities.
Enjoy
I like
the
it.
powder. Come
Yes.
back. Get back to work.
Absolutely. All right, great. So, obviously, Patagonia, very, sustainability is very important for you guys. What would you say to company leaders who say sustainability could get in the way of profit?
Yeah, that's we talked about my role, which is the head of HR, but also finance and general counsel report to me as well.
Oh, okay.
So in addition to people practices and everything, I can see exactly what our bottom line is.
Yep.
And here's what I know. It is absolutely possible to do well, do the right things for your employees, and do good. All these things. I mean, Patagonia's been in business for 50 years.
Yeah.
We're one of the loudest companies on the planet. As a matter of fact, today the UN announced we got an award for being kind of an achievement more for being kind of the most focused on saving the planet. And
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations.
thanks. And it really is. And I see, because every time we make a decision about doing the right thing, we see it trickle all the way down to the bottom line. Because we have on-site childcare, which, 40 years ago, there was no ROI on that, certainly not a trend. But I have no turnover.
Yeah.
I don't pay for outside recruiters. People stay.
Right.
And we have
retention- the
lower
retention piece
healthcare
of
costs.
everything,
All
yeah.
these. So that's just on the people side, and there's a million examples on that. But every time we stand up for our values, and we stand up for sustainability, and we do the right thing, then we ultimately see it trickle down to our profit line at Patagonia.
Yeah.
We have knowing what I know about past companies in this company, any company would love to see the type of bottom line that Patagonia has, and we do good every day.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
So, in wrapping up here, last question that we had submitted was Patagonia is partially able to pursue its counterintuitive ways of doing things, or you guys kind of chart your own path there because you're a privately held company. So for companies that are public that may not have as much leeway as you guys do in Patagonia or freedom to kind of make your own choices because you're privately held, what would you recommend are steps that they could take to start to move in that direction?
You know, it is easier to be private for sure, and I see that because, you know, investors often are the definition of shareholder value has always been to the people owning the shares. Now that's changing. Just even recently, big institutions are starting to say the definition of shareholder value is broader than just people who own shares. It's value to the people who work there, to the community, and that's changing. And other companies like BlackRock are also continuing to think differently about where we put our money. Even at Patagonia, you know, 80% of millennials would put their money into socially responsible funds if they could. So here's how we can make change. Not every company in their 401k has the opportunity for millennials to put the money into a socially responsible fund. So if we all made it available to have socially responsible funds in our 401k, and all the millennials put their money into that, then companies would think differently about how they run them. That's how to change things in the public sector and how to influence. I mean, at Patagonia, we even built our own 401k fund that's based on our values.
Really?
Yeah, just to allow people to invest in the kind of things they want to for 401k.
Wow.
If there's opportunities, we just need to be clever.
Yeah, so maybe a takeaway for that for a leader in a public company could be to really think about how to work within the walls of your organization, but maybe do things a little differently than you have historically, right?
Yeah, well,
or find what matters to your employee base or your customer base.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But if you look at the long tail of history, companies that have been leaning in and do the right thing tend to have a longer tail in history.
Yep.
Even public companies.
Right.
Companies that start doing shortcuts and making decisions not in the best interest of full communities and their employees are having problems. And you and I could both name companies that are having challenges with that in the news right now.
Sure.
I'm not saying that Patagonia is a perfect company or any such thing as a perfect company, but my point is keep your compass in the right direction. And at the end of the day, for a public company, the best thing you can do for your shareholders who own shares is do the right thing and let that flow right down to your bottom line. You'll be here for a very long time. If you're in it for the next quarter and you're just investing for here to the next 3 months, then maybe, you know, you can run up the bill for that amount of time. But if you're investing for the long run, then even private companies can do the right thing and make money. And there's a million examples of those.
Yeah. All right, great. So think for the long term and get your work done before you hit the waves.
That's exactly
Is that good?
I'll see you out there, right?
Oh, yeah. Yikes.
Okay.
I'd be like the guy kind of maybe
That's okay.
paddling and then probably be a falling over situation. But
yeah, a good day in the water is a good day in the water.
I'll wave to you from the shore. How's that?
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, great. Well, Dean, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate having you in the studio.